How vast is this universe? And where did we actually come from? Are we alone in this entire universe? Or do magical creatures live here too?
After making so much progress in science, how much do we really know about this cosmos?
And what secrets are buried in this ever-expanding universe? In today's video, we will try to find answers to these curiosity-filled questions
Through the help of the legendary book, Cosmos, by Carl Sagan.
Sometimes, life's dramas seem so big. Oh no, I missed my flight. I had a fight. Or I failed my exam.
It feels like the whole world has turned upside down. But when we zoom out, we see that all this drama is happening
on a planet the size of a small blue dot named Earth.
And that Earth is floating in this massive universe like a tiny blue marble.
Carl Sagan talks about things like this in his book Cosmos. Things that force you to think.
Carl Sagan says that this universe is so vast that it is difficult to even imagine. That is why scientists invented a unique unit
to measure it called the light year, the distance light covers in 1 year.
Light is the fastest thing in the world. It travels 300,000 kilometers in a single second.
In 1 second, light can circle the world 7 times.
So think about how much it travels in a whole year. I'll tell you, 10 trillion kilometers.
So, when astronomers say a star is 10 light years away, it means the light from that star took 10 years to reach us.
When we look at it, we aren't seeing it in the present. We are seeing its past.
The interesting part doesn't end there. It starts there. These aren't just a few stars. There are roughly 100 billion galaxies.
And in every galaxy, there are roughly 100 billion stars and planets. That means 10 to the power of 22 planets.
Write a 1 and put 22 zeros after it. Among all these planets, Earth is just one.
That is why Carl Sagan says, when you feel like the whole world should revolve around you, just stop and zoom out a little.
For thousands of years, humans have looked at the sky and wonder. Not only were they amazed, but they also tried to understand it. About 2,000 years ago, a Greek mathematician lived in Egypt named Eratosthenes. He was the director of the Library of Alexandria. He read that in a city called Syene, at exactly 12 p.m. noon, a stick planted in the ground cast no shadow.
But in the city of Alexandria, a stick planted in the ground did cast a shadow. Eratosthenes couldn't understand this. He thought, if the Earth is flat, then if a stick casts a shadow in one place, why doesn't it cast a shadow in the other?
He realized this meant the Earth isn't flat. It's slightly curved. But how curved?
He used math and realized that roughly every 800 kilometers, the curvature of the Earth caused an angle change of 7.2 degrees.
He realized if that's the case, to complete a full circle, he just had to do the math. He calculated the Earth's circumference to be 40,000 kilometers.
Think about it. A man with just a stick and its shadow told us 2,000 years ago
what the Earth's circumference was, and that it wasn't flat.
Before telescopes and compasses, people tried to understand the sky just by looking at it.
When our ancestors looked at the stars, they could predict which season was coming.
When fruits would ripen, and when animals would migrate.
This was possible because they tried to predict the movement of stars and noting they moved in patterns. When they saw that the stars leaving were the same ones coming back.
Following a pattern, it felt like Earth was the center of the universe.
Scientist Ptolemy said in the 2nd century, he said, "It is decided. Earth is the center of this universe."
Don't believe me? Look up. For centuries, no one touched his theory. It was accepted. But then, in 1543,
a scientist from Poland arrived, Nicolaus Copernicus. He said, "No, brother, no. It's not like that. We don't need to feel so important."
The universe doesn't revolve around us. We, and all the other planets, revolve around the sun.
This was a huge revolution in science, because humans were no longer the center. We became part of a larger system.
Kepler also suggested the sun has a magnetic force attracting these planets, which is what Newton later described as gravity.
Later, Kepler proved that planets don't move in circles, but form ellipses.
Actually, the Romans considered Venus the goddess of romance and Mars the god of war. But the reality is quite different.
They say if you want to see hell, go to Venus. Temperatures there stay around 480 degrees Celsius.
It's not just hot, it's toxic. Thick clouds of sulfuric acid blanket the planet,
trapping heat in a runaway greenhouse effect that never ends. And the pressure here is crushing.
90 times heavier than Earth, equivalent to being a kilometer deep.
The Soviet Venera probe sent back the only photos we have before melting in just 2 hours.
Venus is a warning, a suffocated world, showing us the danger of a climate out of control.
Leaving the heat behind, we arrive at Mars, a frozen desert.
Here lies Valles Marineris, a canyon so vast it would stretch across the entire United States.
Olympus Mons, the solar system's largest volcano. It stands 3 times taller than Mount Everest.
We have sent robotic envoys. They found ancient riverbeds, proof that Mars once flowed with liquid water.
Now we meet the king, Jupiter, a gas giant so massive you could fit all the other planets inside it.
Beyond Mars lies the asteroid belt, a cosmic junkyard of millions of rocks, the leftovers of a planet that never formed. Jupiter rules over a family of 985 moons. But Europa is special.
Behold the Great Red Spot, an ancient, violent storm larger than Earth, raging for over 300 years.
If aliens exist, how would they talk to us? Face-to-face meetings are unlikely. Chances are, if intelligent life exists,
Sagan says intelligent life would know. If we want to talk to the people living on that ball called Earth, we use radio waves. Sagan suggests the message be prime numbers 2, 3, 5, 7, 11. Why? Because math is the same throughout the universe. Math could be the language we both understand.
Prime numbers would prove the life sending them is intelligent.
Speaking of messages, we have already sent ours. In the 1970s, NASA launched Voyager 1 and Voyager 2.
Voyager is powered by nuclear energy from plutonium. But the best, Pat? These ambassadors carry vinyl records.
These aren't just machines. They are cultural ambassadors. Launched in 1977, their aim is to go as far as possible
and tell us what is in the universe. They are still alive and are the furthest human-made objects in space.
You know, the old ones where you put a needle down to play songs? Those are on the spacecraft.
These golden records contain greetings in 60 languages. If an alien finds it and plays the disc,
they will hear hello in 60 different Earth languages. They also contain music from around the world.
The record includes sounds of water and human laughter, along with a DNA sketch and a map of our solar system.
Oh, what is this? Where did it come from?
Carl Sagan personally designed this project. He said we shouldn't let them know us only by our bad side, that we have wars, bloodshed, and nuclear attacks. We gave aliens exposure to beautiful things first, so our first impression is a good one.
Science wasn't born in Europe. It began in the colonies of ancient Greece, in a region called Ionia.
The Ionians were traders. Nearby nations like Egypt and Babylon believed in different gods. The Egyptians said, "Our God does this," and the Babylonians said, "Our God does that."
The Ionians wondered, are there laws of nature? This was a revolutionary thought.
In this era, a philosopher named Democritus gave a brilliant idea. Everything is made of invisible particles called atomos. He said if you cut an apple, you pass through the empty space of atoms. You cannot cut an atom with a knife. He said this in 430 BCE. 2,000 years later, it was proven that yes, atoms are a real thing. But not everyone encouraged this approach. Philosophers like Pythagoras, Plato, and Aristotle had a different view.
They considered the universe divine and perfect. They said doing experiments was wrong. The universe is perfect, just think.
They considered thinking to be science. But just thinking isn't enough.
Carl Sagan says their influence was so huge it stopped science. Because of this, science was suppressed.
For 1,000 years, people were afraid to experiment. Then came the 1500s, the Renaissance in Europe.
The Ionian spirit was reborn in humans. They didn't want to believe blindly. They wanted to question and experiment.
Blizzard. In the 1900s, a young scientist changed the way we understand the universe. Albert Einstein.
Einstein proved that with imagination alone, the biggest experiments can happen inside your mind.
In normal life, speeds simply add up. And now, 100 plus 20 makes 120.
But light doesn't play by those rules. No matter how fast you go, it never gets any faster.
If light won't change its speed, then time and space must change instead.
Einstein changed physics not in a lab, but with pure imagination, seated at a simple desk.
Galileo showed that in a vacuum, all objects fall at the same speed. Weight doesn't matter. Newton explained gravity. The same force that guides an apple also shapes the cosmos.
Scientific thinking built bridges, taught us to fly, and propelled humanity into space.
During the Cold War, the USSR and USA turned rockets from weapons into vessels carrying humans to space.
In 1957, humanity launched the first satellite into orbit around the Earth.
In 1961, the first human journeyed into space, orbiting our planet for the very first time.
In 1969, humanity set foot on the moon for the very first time. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Science isn't just numbers and formulas. It gives us perspective on our place in the universe.
As far as we know, Earth is the only place with life where humans have written, thought, and dreamed.
Our wars, politics, and egos all happen on a small blue marble, one unique home in the vast cosmos.
From Eratosthenes with his stick to the Mars rovers, one thing has remained constant: curiosity.
What we see of the universe is tiny. Most of it is dark matter and dark energy, invisible to us. We are not just tiny. We are the part of the universe that can think, making this little blue marble special.
Science doesn't have all the answers, but it is a never-ending search for truth.
We are a way for the cosmos to know itself. When you look at the night sky, understand, you and the universe are one.